So there's a candle in everybody. Your candle is who you are. Your candle is what God sent you into the world with, to celebrate you and to add value to humanity. Now, a light doesn't make noise to say, oh, look at me, I'm here, I'm here. A light just comes on and everybody sees that it's light. Your candle is your light. Light gives light to the world. Light adds value to the world. And anywhere where there's light, people always come to it. Once there's darkness and you put light, something new comes in. Everybody wants to go to the light because light is energy. Light is beautiful. Your candle is what makes you beautiful. Your candle is who you are. Your candle is why God created you, what God sent you into the world with. Your candle is meant to bring light in the darkness. And your candle could be anything. For some people, their candle is intelligence. For some people, their candle is creativity. For some people, their candle is their compassion, who they are. For some people, their candle could just be, I'm going to take you around so that we can see. I really can't think now, but by the time we keep going through, you're going to see the different candles. But you have to ensure you find your candle. Because for some people, when you're not very intelligent, it's maybe you're not very good in maths, you're not good in science. Your candle could be creativity. Your candle could be your intelligence. Your candle could be your sense of humor. Your candle could be your sense of, it could be writing, it could be drawing, it could be painting, it could be invention, it could be fashion. As long as it adds value to the world. Everybody that came into the world to add value to the world. Everybody that came into the world with something special that only them can do. And nobody can do it as good as you. So you have to find your candle. Now, when you don't find your candle, you end up following people, wanting to be like other people. Have you ever seen a photocopied paper before? The photocopied paper never looks like the original. So when you want to become other people, try to play out other people's candle or to do what other people are doing because you think they're important doing that thing, it makes them relevant, you're going to end up not being an original. You're only an original when you find your candle, and your candle is who you are. So you're going to find out, who am I? And that candle can only be found through God. Except to reconnect with God, you're not going to find your candle, because God is the one that sent you into this world. So he's the only person that knows why you came. And you know the beautiful thing about finding your candle? You don't have to go about asking people to be your friend. People will naturally come to you because your candle is light. And in the world, there's so much darkness. So where there's light, people actually follow the light. So once you find your candle, people naturally would want to come to you. So you don't go about looking for followers on Instagram, on Facebook, or trying to make everybody your friend. No. I remember a girl back then that wrote a book when she was 10 years old in my daughter's school. She wrote a book and almost everybody wanted to be her friend. About 23 schools came for her book launch. People were writing her from everywhere. Radios were calling her. People in school, everybody in school wanted to be her friend. Then there was another boy that I know about 7 years ago. He was very good in painting. And he came for visa program, and I said, what is it in you that you love doing, that you could take it to the next level? And he took his artistic, he didn't know that part of his candle was what? Drawing. And he took it to the next level in school. I think he painted a picture of the school in a very dramatic way, and it was displayed in school, and everybody wanted to be his friend. So if you go about trying to make people to like you in one way or the other, no, you're struggling. Once you find your candle is your light. Remember, a candle brings light. Once you find your candle, people will naturally come to you. You're still struggling because you haven't found your candle. And another thing that is very important, you might have a friend whose candle is entertainment, or whose candle is just creativity. They like drawing, they like writing or acting drama. But meanwhile, your own candle is your intelligence. Now, if all you do is follow your friend who likes acting, that your friend is going to be celebrated even if they end up not going to school, because acting comes naturally for them. And then you, that your candle is intelligence, you're supposed to study, because when you study, you can bring inventive ideas into the world. You're going to end up your candle is dark and cold. So you have to ensure that you don't just go around following your friends, because your friend's candle might not be your candle. So many of the people that you see today that we celebrate in the world, oh, I like this musician, I like this artist, I like this poet, is because they found their candle. So go ahead, take time, find your candle. Your candle is inside of you. And how can you find your candle? In different ways. One, you can pray to God, God, I want my candle. Show me my candle. Take it seriously. Or what is it that you enjoy doing a lot? It comes naturally for you. Some people like singing. Some people are very compassionate. Compassion could also be your candle. Then ask God, God, is this my candle? And then start working with that. Everybody has a candle. What is a candle? So I'll be taking you through some great men and women who changed their world because they were able to light their candles. Your candle is your life, it's your destiny, it's the reason why you came into the world. So let's just take a quick look and see a few men who lit their candle and changed their world. So I'm going to take you through a few great men that actually changed their world because they found their candle. Just look around now, you're going to see so many stars. You could be next. Your name could appear on one of the stars if you actually find your candle. But before we start, like I said again, sometimes you get discouraged because you think, oh, I'm not smart, I'm not good in maths, I'm not good in creative writing, I'm not good in science. You might not be good in maths, but you're very good in something else. Because maybe maths and science is not your candle. I, for instance, maths and science, if you give me anything maths and science, you just kill me. I don't understand it because it's not my candle. I'm not going to be an inventor. But creativity is my candle. I can create things with my hand. I can create things with my mind. I can write plays. I can write drama. I can see something that is old. I can turn it into something new. I'm very creative. So I'm not going to kill myself because maths and science it's not for me. And I'm not going to get inferior when I see people that are super intelligent in math and science because they're celebrating their world like that because that's their candle. I am also adding value to my world through my creativity. And that is why you have to find your candle so that you're confident. You have to find self-confidence in who you are. So let's see some great men and women who actually changed their world through their candles. Remember, every single thing on earth started with God. And then right here, I have a great man. Now, his candle was intelligence, science. He was a scientist and an educator. He invented the refrigerator. So his candle was intelligence. He spent time, he knew that maths and English came naturally for him and all of the scientific things, and he brought refrigerator into our world. That is how he took away the darkness of drinking hot things in our world. Now, his candle was intelligence and science. Now, this is another great man that everybody on earth knows. Michelangelo. He's a sculptor, a painter, a poet. He's one of the greatest artists that has ever lived in the world. One of the greatest artists. Now, he's not like Alexander Trinan. He's not a scientist, but his candle was to paint. So I want you to check him up on the dictionary, on the internet. Google him and see the great things he did. His candle was art, and he was able to light up the world using his candle. Right here, again, we have Edward Jenner. Now, this is another great man. You wouldn't believe what he did. Right now, we have COVID. And everybody's thinking, who is going to bring the vaccine for COVID? Edward Jenner, his candle was invention. He invented the first vaccine. That was his candle. Then people were dying of smallpox. People were dying. So there was darkness. Just like we have darkness now that there's corona. He was the one who actually, because of his intelligence, he spent time in the lab because he was smart and he was able to invent what? He invented the first vaccine that took away smallpox. And right here, again, like I told you, your candle could be anything. His candle, fashion. If you're very fashionable, you can change the face of fashion to bring something phenomenal into the world. This man here, Levi Strauss, if not for him, we wouldn't have the jeans. Today, everybody has a pair of jeans. If not for this man, we won't be wearing jeans. So he changed the face of fashion. Now you can wear jeans, and no matter what you climb and what you do, the jeans will never get torn. Guess how he started? People were walking and he knew they needed something strong to wear so that they would look rugged and still look neat. And that was how he brought jeans into the world. So he's not like Michelangelo. He's not an artist. He's not a scientist. He's not an inventor of vaccine. But he invented one of the greatest fashions that we ever have. Everybody has a candle. And once you find your candle, you're not competing with anybody. You're going to be celebrated. Wale Soyinka, we all know he's a great writer. He's a great writer, and that is why we celebrate him. For some of you, maybe you like writing a lot, and you're just taking it as something ordinary. Put time in write. Maybe stories come creatively for you, or you write so well. That could be your candle. Wale Soyinka changed his world and changed the face of Africa through his writing skills. Of course, we all know Thomas Edison. I mean, who doesn't know him? Thomas Edison, one of the greatest scientists that we ever know. And when you think of electricity, you can't talk of electricity without talking about him. What was his candle? Intelligence. Then we have Paul Crouch. Paul Crouch was into entertainment. TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Television, one of the best Christian television that ever started. He was the one that brought it into our world. Before then, people used to watch TV, but when you wanted to watch Christian shows, there was nowhere to watch any Christian show. And that was how he brought light into our world. He brought the first television that played all Christian shows. This guy is a great guy. Now, John Pemberton, candle. I mean, these people served in their generation. I don't know. Can anybody guess what this guy did? Okay, what is it that you take when you go to parties and you really enjoy when you go to parties? It's a drink. Yes, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, John Pemberton was the one. That was the candle he brought into the world. He was a scientist. He used his brain. His intelligence. And then this other man, he's not a scientist. He's not an artist. He's not a painter. But he was very good when it comes to organization. He was very good. Now, if you're very organized and you're very meticulous, that could be your candle. Start taking it seriously. Children were being naughty. And then this man thought of putting children together and trying to teach them to be better people. And that was how he invented school. You can see close to the name, you can see Harry P. School. It was this man that brought school into our world. That was his candle. If not for this man, we will not have school in our world today. That was how he changed his own world. That is his candle. So you see, you don't have to be an artist or a painter or super intelligent in art. Find out, ask God, what did I come into the world for? You never know what your candle is. Let's see a few other people that change the world using their candle. Walt Disney. Everybody likes watching Disney Channel. You get super excited. It's Disney Channel. This man brought entertainment. His candle was entertainment. He changed the face of entertainment. So maybe you love pleasure, you love games, I don't know what it is. But you must bring some. Now, he's long dead. But Walt Disney, Disneyland is still existing. Disney Channel is still existing. That was how he brought change into the world. That was his scandal. And then we keep moving. And there's another man I want you to meet right here. Ben Carson. Ben Carson, his scandal was intelligence. He was super intelligent. But you know what? Whenever you find your candle, you have to work with your candle. It's not enough to find your candle. His candle was intelligence, but he spent hours and hours studying. And that was why he was the first man that was able to successfully have a surgery, separated two semen twins that were joined together. His candle was his intelligence. Imagine if he was playing with Walt Disney. Walt Disney didn't have to read so hard. So you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are so you don't get distracted. Then right here again, I have another man, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is an awesome man. He changed the face of the world through entertainment. His candle was entertainment. He has produced so many dramas. Not all the kind of dramas you watch on TV that does not add value to you. All the dramas that he presents are inspirational. He loves drama a lot and he took it to another level. He found out it was a scandal. He now said, how can I change my world through acting since I love acting? He took drama to another level. Now people love his shows because anytime you watch his show, it must change something in you. It must teach you about life. Tyler Perry, if you like, you can Google him. I heard he has built one of the biggest studios in America. I think he built it last year. Tyler Perry, what is your candle? And of course, we have our own Chinua Achebe. Writing also is a scandal. Imagine Chinua Achebe trying to compete with Tyler Perry. Or when Tyler Perry, if they were both schoolmates. If Chinua Achebe was always writing and Tyler Perry was saying, why are you writing? Come, let's go and act drama. Let's go and play. Chinua Achebe will follow him and he will end up not finding his candle. So be careful the people you follow. Your friend's candle might not be your candle. So that you don't end up turning off your own candle. Meanwhile, your friend's candle is on. So let's continue as we see some other great men that change their world using their candle. These two people, Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Ahmadu Bello. Do you know why their candles were? Politics and leadership. Their leadership skill was very good. Maybe you're a leader in school or anywhere you go. You like putting things together. You like leading. You like organizing people to do the right thing. Leadership could be your candle. And you could use it to change your world. If not for the three of them, today we won't have the country called Nigeria. Their leadership skill was outstanding. What is your candle? Leadership could be your candle. If you see that leading people comes naturally for you, that you're a good leader, that you don't stress yourself, but anytime you speak, people listen to you, and then they do the right thing once you're around, then you're a leader. Your candle could be leadership. There are so many candles. There is a candle in everybody. There is a candle in everybody. Find your candle. Find your candle. And it will celebrate you. You don't have to be like every other person. There's a candle in everybody. Here I have Kirk Franklin. Guess his candle? He's a singer. He sings naturally. When he sings, people go like, oh my God. And then remember, he sings inspirational songs that will add value to people's lives. So if you don't use your candle for God, if you don't use your candle to add humanity, to add light, and to bring change to humanity, the devil will use your candle for something else. There's so many people that sing, but what they sing are things that doesn't add value. Songs with bad language, songs that will not add value, songs that make people go high, songs that will not add value to humanity. That is their candle, but you know what? Their candle is dark and cold because it's being used by the devil and it's not adding value to humanity. But use your candle well. He sings, and when he sings, people cry, people give their lives to Christ, people reconnect to God because his candle is burning and is burning well. So it's not enough to have the candle. You might have a candle, but if it's not changing humanity, if you're using it to actually do evil or to actually not do the right thing, maybe in a different way, you're not adding value to humanity. What is your candle? I want you to take out time to think. But above all, ask God, God, show me my candle. Once you find your candle, you will never, ever again try to be like your friend, try to be like anybody. For instance, I worked in the bank for 15 years because then when I left school, working in the bank was, everybody wanted to work in the bank and there was so much money and I loved it. It was okay. But I didn't find fulfillment. I just felt empty. I knew there was more to life. And then I took out the time. I prayed for 30 days and fasted for 30 days. I said, God, I work in the bank, I'm making money, but show me my candle. Show me what I came into the world to do. Because when I work in the bank, I make money and I use the money. I bought some beautiful things. We go on holiday with my children. We come back. I live in a beautiful house. But I wasn't adding value to humanity. It was adding value only to me and my family. And like I said again, your candle must be something that will add value to humanity because that's where we all came, to take away the darkness from the world. So I fasted for 30 days and prayed and fasted. I said, God, please, I really meant it. I wasn't praying for anything else. I said, God, show me my candle. And then God spoke to me. And he said to me, Nneka, okay, he said, I won't tell you the whole story right now, but like when we're in class, I will. He said, look, this was why I sent you into the world. You're very creative. You like teaching, and then you like talking. I want that your candle is actually to teach children, teenagers and young adults about God. To teach them in a creative way, since you're very creative, to teach them in a creative way how they can actually know me. And I'm like, oh my God. He said, your candle is also to produce things out of nothing to show people more about me. And it started like a joke. I started in my living room with like 7 children, started telling them about God. I didn't even understand it, but I'll just teach them about God. Sometimes I just bring some, because I was creative, I'll just create something. I said, I'll use it to illustrate. And then now, I don't know, I've done it now for 15 years and I have so much fulfillment. And I do it creatively. When I sit like this, I don't think of what to teach. It just comes to me. Teaching is my candle. And then talking is also my candle. Now, you might like talking a lot, but you don't even know it's like a candle. Later in life, you might be an influencer, you might be a public speaker, but it depends on what you're going to be speaking. You might be speaking the wrong thing and not adding value. But look at me today, I'm speaking and I'm adding value to you because speaking is my candle. So you have to find out what your candle is. And I'm also very creative. So you can have more than one candle, but it all works together. I've been able to mentor thousands and thousands of people. But look at me when I was in the bank. All I did was make money. I'll travel abroad and come back. Some people, their candle is also to finance the gospel. They have so much money and they use the money to finance things that people that don't have money, they'll give them money. Ministries that don't have money, they'll give them money. Missionaries that don't have money, they'll be setting up beautiful and building great things all over the world to help promote the kingdom of God and to help humanity. So if you have money and all you do is keep your money to yourself, and maybe God made you to be a financer, that your candle was to finance projects that will bring value to the world, then you're not using the candle well. So that is why you have to find your candle. Look around, just look at this place. Look at how creative. I take my time and to just do some beautiful things around. And then you won't believe, I just did this week. I just did this. I felt, out of our belly. Look at this. This is broken glass. You know the Bible says, out of our belly will flow rivers of flowing. Will flow living water. So I just said, let me do something. And I just look at this. I just said, what is the best way? This looks beautiful. And how did I get this? I got this from broken glass, and I wanted it to look like watery. Like, oh my God, when you're passing, you're like, oh my God, this looks like water and all of that. Now, if I was, and this is Noah's fish. sorry, Jonah, Jonah and the fish and all of that. And I wasn't struggling. It was just this week. I just saw this and I'm like, oh, this broken glass would be very good to do out of your belly. And I put it together. So when I want to teach people about out of your belly, we flow rivers of flowing water. I will not struggle. Once I bring them here, I talk about it. I look at all of these stars. I had gone to Hollywood Walk of Fame and I saw people that they had their names on the Walk of Fame. I'm like, oh my God, let me put Bible characters. And I was creative and I put it together because my candle is creativity and teaching, So I'm not competing with all the, with inventors because I'm not good in maths. I won't feel bad. People will not intimidate me because my handwriting is not good. People will not intimidate me. It doesn't matter because I know that there's so many other beautiful things that I can do. And I love nature. It's all part of my candle. And I use every single thing that I have to teach and to add value to humanity. So you are next. I just told you a bit about me. So in part of your homework today, I want you to also write for me, what are the things that you think come naturally for you? Maybe you don't know your candle yet. It's okay. I didn't find out my candle until when I was 33. But that's why I'm telling you early, so that you can start searching for your own and find it early. So what are the things that you think might be your candle? I want you to write it down. What are the things that comes naturally for you? Or what is it in the world that you don't like, that if you have everything today, you're going to change? That could be your candle. So write down what you think. What don't you like that if you could change something, you're going to change? Or what would you want to become tomorrow? Or what comes naturally for you? Write it down and I'll meet you in class. So see you. Bye. Your candle could be compassion. George Muller, do you know what his candle was? He's long gone, but today we have so many orphanages. He was the one that started the first orphanage ever. And he founded many orphanages while he was on earth. So many children were taken off the streets. And because of him today, we have structured orphanages. It was his compassion. So maybe you're not an inventor. You're not an artist. You're not a musician. You're not an inventor. And then your candle could just be that you're very compassionate. When you see people suffering, you feel pity for them and you always want to do something. That could be your candle. So don't feel bad that I'm not smart like this person. I'm not this. There's something in everybody. If not for him, today we will never have found what? Orphanages. Now, meet another great man here, John Wesley. John Wesley. So many of the hymns we read today, when you go to church and they sing hymns and you enjoy the hymns, John Wesley wrote about 100 of the hymns that we read today. He was a good composer. That was his candle. He could compose songs. So maybe you like composing things, and when you just sit at home, you just feel like singing and it just comes naturally for you. And you're taking it like, oh, this thing I'm doing is not nice. I want to be like my friend. No! That thing that is in you that comes naturally for you could be your candle. Develop it. Use it to add value to the world. That is your candle. John Wesley composed more than 100 hymns that we sing in churches today. And he also founded the Methodist Church. What is your candle? You came to the world with a candle. Find your candle. Light your candle and it will celebrate you.